send them away so they can go get food. And he's like, no, you feed them. Well, we only have 5 loaves. Cool, bring them. Now go tell them to sit down in groups of 50. Right? They had the desire for them to be fed. They desired the double portion. They got the instructions. Now they had to obey. It's like, I know he only has 5. Why is he making us go sit these people down? Right? We need to go tell them to go home and not sit down in groups of 50. We're going to set them up for failure. We're going to look back. We're going to be embarrassed. Everybody's going to be looking at us like, why did you make me waste all the time? Now it's late. Now I got to go home. Now I ain't got no food. I'm hungry. I got this long commute ahead of me. Thanks, friend. Right? And we think, like, all this stuff goes through our head. So they had to take a step of faith. They had to shut all that up, right? Shut it down, subdue their flesh, and listen to what Jesus said. Sit them down in groups of 50. Right? And so it's a step of faith to do every single part. And they did, right? They sat them down in groups of 50. Right? They knew that there was only 5 loaves and 2 fish, but what did Jesus do? He didn't curse it. He just said, why didn't you guys pack the lunch? You knew people were going to come. Why didn't you prepare? Where's our planner? Who's our event planner? Who's in charge of our meals? We should at least have more than that just for us. What's wrong with you guys? Like, why is this all we have? And instead of cursing them and coming down on them, right, he took what they had and he blessed it. Because you have something. And so, be thankful to God for what you have and bless what you have and see him multiply it. Don't curse it. So like the manna, right, when the Israelites collected the manna, even on the days they didn't collect enough for their people, they still had enough. Right? Here, God multiplied it, and they had more than enough. So he blessed it, he broke it, and then in John 6:12, I like whatever, trash. They didn't even care about it. And so Jesus saying, that stuff that they're leaving on the table, that's going to be wasted. We need to pick it up so nothing is wasted. Right? And unfortunately, a lot of us, right, other translations call the scraps or the leftovers, they call them scraps. It calls it broken pieces. Right? And so if we don't gather the broken pieces, right, Jesus is saying it's wasteful. You're wasting God's resources. You're wasting the provision. You're wasting the miracle that he's done in your life already to get you to this point. Right? Don't be like, well, I'm just doing this, nobody's recognizing me. Nobody's doing this. I'm just whatever. Right? That's the wrong way of doing it. Do it, whatever job you have, whatever task you have, know that it's taking a skill that God has given you. Know that it's taking something from your spirit that God has given to you, and it's a seed, and you're sowing it, right? Don't just do it just to do it and let it be wasted time, right? Every moment of your day, whatever it is you're doing, you could be doing it for the Lord. If it's taking a shower, if it's ironing your clothes, if it's putting on makeup, if it's taking care of your kids, whatever it is, right? It's not just wasted time. And so we have to recognize these moments, these things that other people consider scraps, trash, leftovers, broken pieces, right? Who's going to want all those broken pieces? Right? Nobody wants it. But Jesus corrected them. After everybody was full, Jesus said, go gather the leftovers so that nothing is wasted. So those of you that don't like eating leftovers, you're ungodly. I'm kidding. Sorry, I just had to throw that out there. But God doesn't like waste. So find a way to recycle it, find a way to repurpose it, find something, right? And that's where, people that come up with things to do stuff like that, where they see all this waste of all plastic and all this stuff and all these different things, and they find ways to change that culture, to change that idea, to change that concept, man, they're successful beyond measure, right? Why? Because they focused on the scraps that everybody else thought was worthless. And now they're multimillionaires, and they're famous, and they're successful, and they're influential, and they changed the paradigm of people's thinking. Why? Because nobody else recognized it. 10, 15,000 people thought that was trash. But Jesus said, it is not trash. That's God's provision for your life. pick it up. Right? Had they not picked it up, in verse 13,